This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 304. Parents, How to Instill a Love of Fitness in Your Kids, Part 1, by Dan Schmidt with nerdfitness.com. Hola, I'm Joss Marie, and this is the show where I try and bring you some of the best relationship content out there with hopes of optimizing the relationship you have with yourself, your mom, best friend, or pretty much anyone else. And today, I'm actually going to cover the first part of a parenting post from guest author Dan Schmidt with Nerd Fitness, all about instilling a love of fitness in your kids. So with that, let's dive right in and start optimizing your life. Parents, How to Instill a Love of Fitness in Your Kids, Part 1, by Dan Schmidt with nerdfitness.com. One thing I've always loved about starting a new video game is the character creation and customization menu. As a young gamer, whether it was Tony Hawk's Underground WWF, that's right, F, SmackDown, or a good old-fashioned RPG, I would always spend ages on the screen deciding what I felt were the best attributes, selecting weapons that would complement their skills, picking out the raddest outfit, and getting them to look just right. But as I've grown, I've spent less and less time on this menu. With 3 kids, I've spent less time gaming altogether. I can't even remember the last time I purchased a console game. I still love customizing characters though. It's just, these days, my characters are real-life little creatures in their prime stage for optimum customization. I'm choosing to build their character traits around a love of fitness, fun, and well-being. I think these traits work well with so many Game Pass that it's a great choice for most parent character builders. Is it easy? No, but it's vitally important to foster and ingrain these attributes early in order for maximum impact and longevity. But how do we do it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Your first mission: take care of player 1. Step 1: acquire a child or children. I know this isn't everyone's idea of a good time, and that's cool, but if you do find yourself with kids, please proceed to step 2. Those not continuing further can resume enjoying their hot meals, nights out, money, and sleep. Step 2. Recognize this begins with you. Whether we like it or not, building a love of fitness and well-being in our children begins with us. To quote our best mate Steve from How to Stay Active When You Have a Family, quote, "If we can instill the habit of health, fitness, and happiness in ourselves, our families are more likely to grow up healthy and not deal with the health issues that come with being overweight and out of shape." End quote. Children, no matter how young, take in absolutely everything going on around them. If they grow up in a household where mom and dad are low talkers, they're going to follow suit with quieter voices when they start speaking. Likewise, if they see mom and dad as couch-dwelling beings glued to their devices, they will assume this is the norm and follow suit. But if they see their parents leading an active, fun, and healthy lifestyle, they'll be much more likely to continue this throughout their lives. If we're not leading by example, we're not leading at all. Be warned though, building a life and love of fitness and well-being is not easy, particularly when you have kids. I know from experience, dude. When you're always freaking tired and so busy, exercise is usually the last thing you feel like doing. This is why so many people tend to put fitness on permanent pause once they have kids. Don't get me wrong, I've been there, several times this week in fact. Man, my eldest is refusing to put her pajamas on, there's still food all over the floor from my toddler's dinner time tantrum, and the newborn will be waking in 30 minutes for her feed and will probably keep me up all night again. I'm not going to exercise tonight, I just don't have the time. But as we should all know by now, this is a big fat lie. When I start falling into this trap, I try to be honest with myself. What I should really be saying to myself is, being a healthy role model for my children isn't a priority. That hits home pretty quickly. Because if I decide my health isn't a priority, I'm really saying my children's health isn't a priority either. It's been shown that parents' health levels directly impact the health and well-being of their children, especially early on in their lives. Quote, "When both parents were active, the children were 5.8 times as likely to be active." End quote. On the flip side, a Greek study found children with one obese parent were almost twice as likely to be overweight than children whose parents were of normal weight. Children with 2 obese parents were 2.4 times more likely to be overweight. As parents, we are the most important influencers in our children's lives, but we're only the superheroes for a few short years. It's vitally important to start as early as we can. Right from day one, which, if you haven't started yet, is today. Lead the way, find the time, and show your kids that being healthy is an important part of all our lives. The best part about conquering this step is that once you have forged your own fitness path, your kids will start to imitate you without any further work. That's right. Do the work for yourself up front, and the rest is downhill from there. You might say a walk in the park, both figuratively and literally. Here's what one rebel, Heather, says about working out around her 3-year-old son. Quote, "If he's interested in what I'm doing, I'll work to include him, show him how to try stuff. But if he's involved in building a tower for his tractor to knock down, I get on with my own thing while I have the space. What I have found is even when I think he's not paying me any attention, he's picking up so much. The next time I work out, he's busting out moves I didn't show him. As all my fellow parents know, they are always watching." End quote. Remember, this isn't an either or. You can and should start helping yourself right now, while also building a love of fitness with your kids, and it starts with fun. Make it fun. Kids thrive on fun, so the key to fostering a love of fitness in your children is to raise your kids in a way where exercise summons feelings of excitement, passion, interest, joy, and family connectedness. And sometimes it's all about just changing our attitude. Come on, time to go for a walk. Boring. Instead, try, "Oh no, kids, all the leaves on the street have turned to lava, and we have to get to the park quickly so we can turn on the cooling reactor." Woohoo! Learning how to sell things to my kids through rephrasing everything as an adventure was a game-changer moment for me. This is an important strategy in making their fitness time your fitness time. Even from birth, there's nothing stopping you being active together. Strollers are great to get walking, but baby carriers are an even better way to get you and your little one out into nature, helping build a close bond and an early love of fitness and the outdoors. Win, win, win. Bonus points goes to anyone who can look more gangsta than me wearing a baby. Don't get hung up on just walking, particularly as they get older. Start letting them choose activities aligned with their own interests. To be continued. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, Parents, How to Instill a Love of Fitness in Your Kids by Dan Schmidt with nerdfitness.com. It can be really tough to find time to yourself once you become a parent, let alone time to work out. So I couldn't agree more with Dan, and I actually try to combine the two. It's not every day, but I go to 2 or 3 workout classes a week, all of them 30 or 45 minutes, and this is my time to both work out and unwind at the same time. I especially love my Pilates class and how zen I feel afterwards. Honestly, I find that I'm a better mom because of the time I take to myself. So I couldn't agree more with Dan about the importance of fitness, and I look forward to hearing part 2 of this post tomorrow. But that's actually all I've got for you today. Have a good one, and I'll see you again tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Living Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com, that's OLDpodcast.com, for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.